With me in studio is Mike Wagenheim, our diplomatic correspondent, as well as Dima Taye, an Israeli Arab Muslim woman running for parliament with the Likud party. Thank you both for being with me. Mike, I want to start with you. The political reaction today to Netanyahu's big, dramatic, special speech that really was more about familiar complaints about the election, the corruption probes. What reaction are we getting today?
I think most people view this, especially on the left and the center, that it wasn't so much a national speech. It wasn't so much, even as you said at the top of the broadcast, a political speech. It was a very personal speech about personal problems that the Prime Minister is having with the investigators dealing with this case, with the Attorney General, with others involved with the case. We saw reaction coming from Labour Party leader Avi Gabay, who's having political problems of his own right now. Gabay telling fellow party leaders on the left and on the center not to make any promises to get involved with Netanyahu post-election. Let's give a listen to what Avi Gabay had to say.
Yair Lapid and Benny Gantz, you are good people who tonight saw Prime Minister Netanyahu wildly attack the law authorities. I say to you now, we must not be partners to this. Tonight, more than ever, it is time for you to announce that you will not be Netanyahu's partners. The state of Israel needs another path, a path of change. We need to return to being a normal country.
Gabay referring there to the leader of the centrist Yesh Atid party, Yair Lapid, and the leader of the new Israel Resilience Party, Benny Gantz, the former IDF chief of staff. Gantz also made note of the speech in a tweet, as has been Gantz's MO in the last few weeks. He kept it short and sweet.
Hasn't said much, that man.
Hasn't said much and still hasn't said much, even in his tweeting in response to Netanyahu's speech last night.
All right, reaction, of course, trickling in from political leaders across the stripes. Thank you, Mike, so much. Dima, I want to turn to you. Before we get to your background, I want to just ask you politically. You're running for Likud, the party that the Prime Minister is a member of. If he is indicted for a crime, if he's indicted for bribery or corruption, would you still support him, or do you think he needs to step down?
First of all, good evening for you and who watch us. I believe that our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, will find not guilty. And I believe with the justice that will do the job. And I believe that the truth will found. And I believe he will not be just guilty.
I want to ask about your background. You would be the first Israeli Muslim to serve in the Knesset with the Likud party. You're the first Arab Israeli Muslim to run for the Likud party. Why do you believe in the Likud party?
So, yeah, it's the first time as a woman and as a Muslim who are going to have this strong step and run for the Knesset on the Likud party. I'm proud of this party. It's so strong, and it can have the different culture, different religion inside, and it's time for minorities, Arab minorities, to start listen the voices, the good voice about Israel.
But many Arabs say that the Likud party doesn't support the Arab community. They don't support the Muslim community. One example, just one, might be the Jewish nation-state law, that Jewish settlement is a national value. Hebrew is the only language that is the official language. Israel is the nation of the Jewish people. How can you support the Likud party that believes that?
So also, I am not really with the Arabs who are in the Knesset. I'm not really with the ideas and the ideology that they are doing much bad things for the sector, the Arab sector. The Arabs Knesset, in the members of the Knesset, Arabs inside the parliament, they are not doing nothing for the sector, and they are not representing all the sector of the Arabic sector. For example, I will tell you something. The violence on the Arab sector is so high, and the violence against women is so high, and they just voted on a law against putting or opening police stations in the Arab sector.
But there are other parties, not Likud parties. There's other Arab majority parties that are fighting for social services for Arab towns and Arab cities. But the Likud, as a party, they believe in a Jewish nation-state law. They've promoted expanded West Bank settlements, and that many Arabs feel that they're second-class citizens. The Prime Minister said Arabs are coming to the polls in droves the last time. There's this sense that the Likud doesn't want Arabs as part of their movement.
That's not true. It's wrong. am, as a woman and as a Muslim that running on the Likud, this is a big evidence that the Likud opened the doors for the minorities, for the Arabs to come and run and to be a good Arab and respect the country, that the country respected around. But what
Are you bothered by the nation-state law? Do you think that controversy is not really a controversy?
But what I wanted to say that I believe in our Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, that he is a good leader, a strong leader that can really lead this country with a good security, with a good economic, and he can really build a new generation for us. And I believe that our Prime Minister, he's the leader of the Likud. I believe in him. So because of that, I'm running this strong party.
Are you getting threats for this? As an Arab woman, as a Muslim, are you getting threats?
I've got bad comments and threats from the Arab sector, unfortunately, but I'm not really excited of that. I'm continuing to do what is the best for my sector and my country that I really care and love for it.
All right, good luck to you in your career. Dima Taye running for the Knesset with the Likud party would be the first Israeli Arab Muslim to earn that seat.